What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another video for you guys. Now, in this particular video clip, this woman is saying that most of the women who are on the dating scene, they're all looking for the same men. So she was saying she went to some type of mixer and the women are all looking for that same guy and it's becoming a problem. So we gonna hop into the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you like the content, share and like the video, and turn on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new content or I go live, y'all. Hit the hype button, y'all. Hype the video up. That definitely helps the channel, all right? So make sure you are doing that, but let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
I went to a singles mixer yesterday and I left feeling more defeated than hopeful. The host did an amazing job. The vibes were immaculate. The location, everything was great. The games, it was very well thought out. But I think what did it for me was demographic-wise, it felt like Hinge, but in real life. There was a room full of beautiful, accomplished women, a lot of nice men, but only a few of them that everyone wanted. And the very few acted like they were the prize. They literally would only talk amongst themselves. They would not initiate conversation with women unless the host told them to. We had a moment where we were forced to just go and talk to somebody new for 8 minutes, which I thought was a little too long, but that was the only time that they would initiate conversation with the women. So I started wondering, like, is this a New York City thing? Like, is there like a thing in the air that makes people not want to have conversation with each other? I know that like in New York, people are known for not wanting people to have deep conversations with them, but it just got me wondering, like, are people just so afraid to start conversation because they risk, you know, like they fear rejection? Is it a millennial thing? Do we just not know how to talk to each other anymore? Like, what is it? I'm super social, so I initiated most of the conversations that I had yesterday. And at the end of the night, I felt so drained because I just felt like it wasn't going anywhere. And the worst part of it is I woke up this morning feeling super sad. And I was just asking myself, like, damn, like in a room full of people where the intent is to date, like I didn't make any connection. So what is wrong with me?
I want to point this out really quick before we move on. I think for women, they can recognize that it's draining to put yourself out there and initiate the conversations to try to, you know, see if there's a connection with another person. Now, if you're drained from one night of doing that, think about what men go through. Think about how men have to constantly put themselves in a vulnerable position to try to find love or connections with the person. Just think about how this is something that they are required to do. Men are the ones who are required to initiate conversations and spark conversations in order to create a relationship. Men have to do this. This is what they are required to do. But when women are in that position for just a short period of time, they're drained and feeling lost and confused. But just put yourself in a position of a man and think about what men have to go through on a daily basis and why a lot of men are moving the way they're moving now, because they're tapped out. They're tired. They're tired of the constant rejections and the superficial expectations and requirements from women on top of it. So a lot of men are just opting out and a lot of men are not approaching. And so a lot of men are kind of standing back because they feel like, look, a lot of women have said not to approach. So it's like they don't understand at this point, they don't know what to do. So they're kind of holding back. And now they're putting up the ball in your court. Because if you see something that you like as a woman, you should approach. And if you are at a mixer or a gathering, there's nothing wrong with you going up to a guy that you see attractive and trying to spark a conversation with him. Because now it's not that, you know, the men understand where women are and how they think and what they listen to what y'all say. Even though this might not be every woman's, you know, mentality. This is why I say the good are going to have to suffer for the bad, because a lot of women have put a lot of negativity out there. And unfortunately, fortunately for the men, they are moving accordingly. They're responding to it. So I just think you got to understand this is what men have been doing from the beginning. And now they're finally getting to a place where they're tired, because they're constantly being met with these women who are saying they need this or they don't need you, but we want you. And then we don't really need you, but we want you to provide everything. And so now, you know, I think that the tides are turning and women have to start to put in the work if they want something. And if not, it's going to be a bad look. That's all I can say. But let's continue.
Asking myself, was I too opinionated? Did I talk too much? Am I not feminine enough? Like, why wasn't it, like, what do I need to do in order for me to be chosen? Like, what do I need to change? And guys, the moment I said the word chosen is when I was like, hold up, take a beat here. Okay, do you want to be chosen? One. Second, okay, let's say I wanted to be chosen. Do I really want somebody to choose me because I reshaped myself to fit what I think men have traditionally been attracted to?
So for me, I think obviously one of the biggest things is if you're going to a singles event to meet someone, to seek out a partner, to seek a relationship, then it would seem that you would be proactive about talking to the people that are there. Like that is lost on me. Why go if you're not going to initiate some type of conversation? And that goes for both sides, men and women.
Right. But I think women have more of an entitlement, in my opinion, because they're so used to men being the ones to approach. But once again, I say it's a different ball game nowadays. Women have become these independent creatures who have openly stated that they don't need men, and they want one, but they don't need them. And they believe that they are the prize and that men should approach and men should do this. But women don't want that same response in when it pertains to what they should be offering, how they should show up, and what they should be doing. And men have become privy to that. So men are saying, oh, okay, y'all don't want to be traditional women. You don't want to cook clean. You don't want to submit. All that's like slavery to you. So you don't want to do that. You want to be independent. You've got your own money. You do your own thing. You don't want a man to tell you anything. You don't want anything to do with anything that's traditional. But y'all are still expecting a traditional man to show up, which means you want a man to show up, approach you, is what a traditional man would do. You want him to lead the conversation. You want him to pursue you. You want him to show you that he really is interested. You want him to spend money on you, spend time and all these things, but you are not willing to be a traditional woman for him. So a lot of men realize that and they're like, well, hell no, I don't have to approach. Y'all are modern women. Y'all got it. Y'all boss chicks. Y'all lead. Y'all are leaders. You're buying your own houses. You're doing all these things like a man. So you can approach too. If you see something, you're a go-getter, right? You're a leader and all of these things. So if you see something you like, you approach. That way he at least have a sense of knowing that you are interested in him and he's just not wasting his time on you. That's how I see it. But let's continue.
Because we are both capable of speaking. We're both capable of initiating conversation. The other component that I think about is she mentioned there was only a handful of guys that the women were interested in, which leads me to believe we're talking about physical attributes, right? Because you guys aren't talking, so it has to be a physical situation. I would implore you to set that aside. You have to kind of get away from all the physical attributes and really spend some time getting to know someone, because you can't just judge a book by its cover, right? Same thing goes for a human being. You have to actually get to know them. I would just say, don't go if you're not truly seeking relationship. Don't go. What's the point? If you're not going to talk, if you're not going to interact with the people there, what's the point?
Well, the thing is, this conversation is had so many times across the internet. Have a woman comes on the line and she starts speaking up about singles events and how she couldn't find anybody. The men weren't talking. There were only a couple men that looked good enough to talk to, and the other ones, they were just not something anybody wanted. And they can't understand why these single events are going like this, and they can't find love and they can't find a relationship. That's typically the gist of this conversation. Going back to what you said, I don't think people are going to set what they see to the side, because that's typically the first thing that people find attractive. That's typically what draws people to someone else until they get to know them. I think in your setting that you're explaining, I think you would have to probably work with somebody or be a family member, friend or something, to really get to know somebody. You got a best friend that has another friend and all y'all spend time together a lot. Then, a lot of people will be more apt to set that aside. But just meeting somebody, I don't think people would be willing to do that. Most people wouldn't, because they have eyeballs.
Yeah, but I think that's what should happen. I think we should get to know a person and not just dismiss them just on how they look. You know what I mean? Especially if they're interested in you and if they have good qualities and other things that will work. I think once again, we have to retrain our mental capacities to see attraction in a different way. This may not ever happen, but I think this would be a way to fix what we're seeing now, because we have so many women out here just going after men for being tall and fine, and then y'all raw dog each other, and then you pregnant, and then y'all break up because he don't really see any qualities in you, and that's the only qualities that you see in him, and that only helps to get you a baby, and then that's about it. Y'all have fun, get a baby, and there's no more to it. All of y'all are looking for the same type of man, and y'all still not getting them, because once again, your value in that man is not on the things that matter. It's on the superficial things that really don't matter. So he's cute and he's tall and all this kind of stuff, but he got a whole bunch of options because all of y'all are running for him. So he's not going to commit to any of y'all because he knows now he's the pick of the litter and y'all are chasing him. So his value is high. So he's not going to just pick one so quickly until he's exhausted all of them. And he's had his way with all of y'all, not for serious committed relationships, but for physical attraction, because that's what you want out of him. That's what you are attracted to. So he give you what you want, and that's all you get. And when he's ready to settle down with the woman he wants to be with, he's going to make that choice. And 9 times out of 10 is not the women who have been chasing him for the longest. Oh my God. He's gonna pick a woman that suits his needs and what he wants for a long-term relationship, while y'all have wasted y'all time seeking him when he never wanted y'all for serious committed relationships, because you're not looking for him for that. He knows that you're looking at him because he's attractive, he's tall, he has this and that. You're not really interested in getting to know him for real, and so you end up getting that in return. But this is why I say women can't do the same thing as men, because like I said, once the men decide he wants to settle down, he can go find him a woman that he wants, and he get with her and marry her and build a life with her, and everybody else sitting around looking sick, wondering why he didn't choose you. So once again, I think there's a learning lesson in all of this. I think all of this has a lesson to be learned from, but if you don't get the lesson, you're going to constantly find yourself on this hamster wheel of going round and round in circles with the same issues. And if you can't understand what's important, if that's what you want, how do you expect to get it? and maintain it. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell, hype up the video, you guys. Chime in the comments below. I want to hear from you, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.